Welcome to Deer Feed. I'm Renee.
And I'm Jess.
And we're the Deerfoot Sisters. This week, we're talking about random stuff.
Potpourri.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, Jess planned this episode, so if it's totally bad, you can blame her.
I've planned every episode, so if you like our podcast, you're welcome.
What about that episode I planned? TV Junkies.
Our least popular episode.
That's not even true.
It actually is.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding. Just keep that on the floor.
Okay.
Or the couch.
Just so you know, we're recording at my house today, so Reggie is acting his wild self, wilding out. So if you hear cat sounds or us yelling, that's the reason. Well, that was Jess. Don't be fooled. Reggie doesn't sound like that. No, he sounds like this.
Like gobbles?
Yeah, kind of. That's what he sounds like.
Weird.
He's his own cat. So you guys might be able to tell Jess is sick. That's why we didn't put out an episode last week. She's disgusting. Thanks. Cough for them. I wasn't serious. Don't worry, you'll hear it later. Okay. No, go make me some cookies and she'll just do whatever I say, apparently. No clapping. All right. So this week we're going to be talking about just like some random stuff going on in our lives and also animals because they're cool. So you want to get us started, Jess?
I don't have the outline.
There isn't even an outline.
Yeah, it's on
Chrome.
In Chrome.
Okay,
it's just a tap. You don't have to click.
Well,
it's
the
just
clicking
making
works
a lot of noise.
Okay.
You're like boom, boom, boom.
Okay, so Jess doesn't know how to spell potpourri, just so you guys know. And
how do you spell it?
Not like that.
How is it
You
spelled?
forgot an extra O. There's not just a U at the end. It's not literally potpourri.
Is it not?
There's an O in that section too. It's fine. We'll fix it
O-U or
later.
U-O?
I think it's O-U. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, so the first thing on the outline was for you guys to listen to Jess's wheezy cough and hear her talk about her sore throat. I don't know if that's what the outline says, Jess. You wrote this. So.
Oh my god. Just think about the main topics. The number parts or the letter parts or whatever.
The Roman numeral parts?
Yeah.
Okay, the first one's sick, brah.
Yeah, I'm sick. Okay?
Yeah, we get
I'm
it.
a sick individual.
Yeah.
I need help.
Sick and twisted. So what's wrong with you?
I can't breathe.
So this is better than last week. So like we skipped last week and we felt like she was healthy enough to come back. So you can just imagine how she was before.
I think I have bronchitis now, and that's with the cough. And then I also have strep throat, so that's with the extremely painful throat. That's why I have 3 cups of Jell-O to eat in case I need to soothe my achy throat.
We had an interesting experience at the store buying that Jell-O, right?
Do tell.
The kid in front of us really wanted to buy some gum, but his mom didn't want him to. And then he's like, "I'll just buy it myself." And she's like, "No, I said no." And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "How? Because I said so."
No, wait. First, did you see him trying to get the gum?
Yeah, it was like jumping across the conveyor belt thing.
He was like a little chubby, short kid, and he couldn't get it. And he kept jumping and be like, "Oh, oh!" And then he finally got the gum. And then when his mom was like, "No," he couldn't get it back.
Yeah, he tried to put it back away. And then he was saying to the cashier, "Would you sell gum to a kid?" Trying to go behind his mom's back, even though she was standing right there. And then he's like, "You should just take her to jail. Can you just come and take her to jail? Because she just follows me around everywhere." And everyone's laughing, but I'm like, imagine if this kid really was kidnapped. We're just laughing. And he's like, "I'm serious. That's not my mom."
She also was like, "You're going to get beat up."
Yeah, she did say that.
And he's like, "I'll just dodge all the beatings." And I'm like,
It was weird.
It's not really funny anymore.
Yeah, it was bizarre. But anyway, then the people behind us were trying to chat with us about being teachers.
Oh.
So it was a very friendly visit to the grocery store.
That lady was my cashier when I bought all this stuff. And I have to talk like this now because I have to swallow every time I say anything. So she was my person, my cashier, when I bought all the stuff for my kids to do their environment and experimental design lab. So I bought Oreos and 20 types of gum and like all this different stuff. And then I was telling her about it, and she was like, oh, I wish they did stuff like that when I was in school. Sounds so much fun. Can I come be one of your students? And I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I just was texting. I got
With
a text. Who? My bank.
I was like, my bae.
What? My bank. Just wanted me to verify some charges.
Why does your bank text you at the middle of the night?
Because my bank's a needy slut. Just kidding.
Hey.
Oh, just kidding. Oh, man. No, it was just asking me to verify charges on my bank account.
So anyway, the boy also did mention the Jell-O that we bought.
Yes, he was excited there were 3 flavors.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Okay.
I wasn't done talking about it.
Sorry.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Are you done now?
I guess. I mean, it just...
Reggie just stole her tissue. Was it used?
Not really. No. Put it in the garbage.
You just like climbed up and slowly pulled it away.
That's so weird.
Yeah, he's a freak.
So basically, it just sucks that I have this cold right now or whatever. Illness. Yeah. Is this the next topic? What I missed?
No. What you missed? It's not on here at all. What are you talking about?
Why it's bad timing for me to be sick?
Oh, yes. That's the next topic.
Okay, so basically, it's really annoying. I had to take off like a day and a half of school because of the illness, and I could barely talk, and it was really painful. And it was contagious for a while. And then our friend, one of our BFFs, had her baby, and all the friends in the crew were there except me.
Yeah.
And then one of them was like, oh, I'm so happy that we all got to share this beautiful moment with you. And I was like, screw you.
Yeah, I went for the birthing for a while, but I ended up going home because it happened very late, or very early in the morning, rather. But I didn't visit the baby yet because I had a little scratchy throat, and I was like, I don't think it's strep. I got a strep test, and they said it wasn't, but I just didn't want to risk it. So I decided to wait until I was 100% sure.
How do you feel now?
I feel better now. Yesterday I felt a little better. Then today, this morning, I was like, okay, but I feel mostly fine now. My throat doesn't really bother me anymore. Like a little tiny bit when I swallow.
Lucky.
Yeah. So I think it was just allergies or something. But I'm still going to wait a few days before I meet the baby, just because.
It's like death. Like I was saying, I would rather be dead than feel like this.
And I said that's extremely dramatic. Well, because it is. Let me just, oh, sorry. Just move this over. Oh, you can't have like 2 things going at once?
You can. I forget how to do it.
Max, am I right? Okay, so anyway, so yeah, we have a new baby in the Middlesex crew. Baby Zoe. She's so cute. Are you nursing Reggie?
Yeah.
I don't think he likes that.
He loves it.
He's squirming.
He loves it.
He has his claws out.
He loves it.
Okay. That poor cat is so traumatized. So, what are you looking forward to most with baby Zoe? Don't, you're petting him backwards? You're a monster. Okay, go, Reg. Go, be free.
What did you say?
I said, what are you most looking forward to with baby Zoe?
Holding her, feeling her soft skin.
It's creepy sounding.
Smelling her.
Smelling her baby smells.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to hold her and sing to her and let her fall asleep.
Teach her how to dance.
Well, that might take a while. You never know, I guess. Jess just drinking her milkshake. Nice and slowly. Enjoying her milkshake.
I was like waiting for you to tell what you were excited about.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, same, I guess. I'm excited to teach her new stuff, and I'm excited to have a kid in the crew, like a new kid in the crew, because we'll be able to watch like every part of her growing up. Because we have some other kids in the crew, but some of them were older when they first kind of came about.
Not Lucy.
Yeah, she was a baby, but she wasn't an infant. But not when we knew her as much, is what I'm saying. Like, we weren't around her all the time. But with Zoe, like, we'll be there for all of the milestones, I think, which will be really cool. That's really nice. This makes me have really bad baby fever, though. Like, it's so bad.
I was thinking, like, the week of teacher convention, because I'm off all week, I'll be able to spend some good time with her.
Yeah, some good quality time. Quality auntie time. What are you going to have her call you? Auntie Jess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'll go by Auntie Nene. But I was like, I don't know if I want to just be Nene or, like, Aunt Nene. I like Auntie Nene. Or maybe just Auntie Nene.
Auntie Nene.
Auntie Nene.
She call me Auntie J.
Yeah, Auntie Nay and Jay. But you hate being called Jay.
She's going to be my favorite. I mean, I'm going to be her favorite aunt.
Yeah, I know. I heard you have competition for the title.
I don't have any competition.
Ooh, pretty cocky. I mean, you weren't, like, there when she was born, so she's probably going to remember that.
She might remember that, but it's going to not be outweighed by my amazingness as an aunt.
So what are you going to do that's so amazing?
It's just how I am.
Why do you think kids like you so much?
Because I'm really nurturing. I'm really fun.
They're going to say you're really nerdy.
No, it's because, like, I'm really sweet. It's probably, honestly, because I have a really nice voice.
Totally. So wheezy and guttural. That's so gross. Ew, you sound like a monster. Stop. That was terrifying. Alright. Anyway. So you think your nice voice lulls babies to like you? You have like a siren song for babies?
Yep.
Because babies like me a lot too. And
Yeah,
people
but we
say...
have similar voices.
True, but people say like, oh, that babies always want to be held by like women who have like really big boobs. But like, I don't have big boobs, but I'm like, I'm the baby whisperer when it comes to getting babies to fall asleep. So that's kind of like a skill that I am very proud of. What? It's just Reggie. He can just play with his toys. This is his house too.
Play with his balls. It's really noisy.
Yeah, they're just balls on tracks.
Yeah, no, I never thought about that. Like you asked me, because I know I'm really good with the kids. I could meet a kid like at the grocery store, talk to them for 1 second, and they just like seem to like want to be with me. And I'm like, all right, kid, I don't know you.
Yeah, kids love us, like a lot.
So I was like, I really think it is just like that. I'm like seem open and welcoming, and then I do think that my voice helps.
Yeah,
because I have like a very soothing voice. People have always said that to me.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. People never really. I don't really know if they tell me I have a nice voice. I told you like when I had speech class in college, the guy told me he liked listening to my voice because I sound like a kindergarten teacher, and I was like, okay. So I guess that's the kind of thing you're talking about.
And then some people, they, like, get really high-pitched when they talk to babies. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know, I guess I'm just usually like, hi, baby. And, like, that's, like, how high-pitched I get. Like, I don't get, like, super high-pitched.
Yeah.
And I don't have, like, a high-pitched voice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would just be the same. I'm like, hi, baby. And, like, I think it's a lot of it's, too, having, like, a round face. Like, babies like round faces. And, like, I don't know. And
but even
smiles.
just any age, really. Like, I mean... Even with our one friend, like, the daughter's, like, a teen now, but when she was, like, turning 9 or 10, we had, like, a campfire, and me and her were just chatting, and then she, like, really liked me for a while.
Yeah, but now she doesn't really like anybody.
Yeah, but she was like, yeah, can't we just go to the pool with Jess tomorrow? And they're like, no, we're doing stuff. And I was like, that's so sweet. Yeah. Like, I'm just really good at, like, I guess, connecting with kids. Yeah. I think it's just because, like, a lot of times people kind of, like, ignore them. Yeah. When they get a little older to that, like, middle age. And then with the younger ones, I think it's just because I'm, like... really silly. Like, I have my go-to things that I do, and pretty much always work.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's true. I mean, honestly, if you just play with kids, they usually like you a lot. Yeah. They're pretty indiscriminate in friend-making.
Like some more than others.
But, I mean, kids love me just as much as they love you, so.
I know, but, like, when I was in... I forget who I was working with, because I wasn't working... with, like, I wasn't working with Kayla, like, or Francisco. It was someone else in the afternoon. But, like, if I wasn't there, because I would have my lunch when the classes were changing, if I wasn't there when the afternoon kids came, this one boy would, like, just start crying as soon as he got there. If I wasn't there. Because he just, like, I guess didn't feel as safe or whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting. Kind of sad.
And then when I left, Kayla said that one of the preschoolers was, like, crying every day, too. And so, like, they called me the one day. She's like, can we call you because he really misses you?
That's cute. That's really nice.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I think kids are willing to be friends with everyone, but I mean, like, not everyone is. Some people are just, like, weird, or they're not as nurturing, or they're not as fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good at connecting with kids. Like, usually I can connect well with little kids, and I also have, like, a pretty easy time connecting with teenagers as well. But, yeah. How do you feel? You connect with your teenagers well? Because you're kind of like a nerd. So.
I lean into the nerdiness, and they kind of appreciate it.
Like, they feel, like, protective of you because you're, like, a weirdo, and they're like, you have to be nice to her because she's so weird.
Well, the one student was like, oh, you remind me of someone, or someone I work with reminds me of you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm not going to ask why.
Oh, so you don't know the reasoning? They just said that, and you were like, okay.
And then, with the same kid, someone was like, Miss Reefus? And then he was like, it's Reefus! And I was like, alright.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That he was defending your name, your honor.
I delivered a sick bird to the kids because one of the teachers I worked with mispronounced one of their names. And then she was like, I'm sorry, like, blah, blah, blah. And was, like, just explaining how she sometimes, first of all, you might misspeak, and she also sometimes forgets. But she's really good with their names. She learns them, like, day 2, and she's like, I just say them all the time, so I, like, remember them.
Right.
So then I said, well, you could just call everyone Miss, because the students just call everyone Miss. And so they were all like, oh, Miss, that was so, what did they say?
So unnecessary.
Yeah, but they said, like, they were like, I don't even know, they didn't say savage. They were like, that whatever wasn't necessary, or was, like, uncalled for.
That shade.
A shade. And they're like, that shade wasn't even necessary. And then me and her were just kind of, like, shrugging, like, well.
Yeah, well, it's true.
But I feel like ever since I said that, they really do just, like, actually try to call us by our names now. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, because I do always wonder if they just, like, don't know my name when they say that. My kids don't really say that, but sometimes they'll be like, Mrs. And I'm like, Mahoney? Like, I don't know. It's just like, can you finish my name?
In your, like, class management system, does it have your name when you post stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, because, like...
and on their course schedules, too.
Well, because the way it works, like, on Google Classroom is it will say, like, whoever just posted an assignment, and then, or it will say, like, it will have the person's name, and if you comment on it, it will, like, have the name. So I'm using her account, so it will have her name, not mine. So I'm actually kind of surprised that they know my name as well as they do, because all their stuff doesn't have a name on it. Yeah. Like, the only thing that has my name written down, well, 2 things would be, like, this video consent form I gave them, and then, like, the, like, class rules the first day, because we put, like, both of our names on that. Right. But, like, in the system, like, everything just has her name, so it's, like, I'm honestly surprised that they all know my name.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. Yeah. I mean, they should know my name because it's on, like, everything they get. Well, it's on their schedule, and it's on everything I post. And it's kind of weird because, like, their schedules have our first and last name, which I feel like is kind of weird. Yeah. And same thing, like, in Schoology, like, it will say Renee Mahoney, but I, like, changed it to just be Mrs. as my first name. Because I'm like, this just seems weird to me to be, like, if I had seniors, maybe, but, like, I have freshmen, and it just, like, seems really weird. So, right now I'm covering a class for a teacher who's out sick, and they have, like, a group chat, which I'm like, that's so weird. So they're like, he's like, ask, like, this student to add you to the group chat. And I was like, okay, thinking it was, like, an app. It's, like, literally just a text. And I'm like, I don't want these randos to have my phone number. So now I'm, like, in a group text with everybody.
That's weird.
Yeah, but they're, like, allowed to do it at school if it's, like, coaching and stuff. Like, as long as it's a group. They're not allowed to have any, like, individuals.
But why don't they just use GroupMe?
I don't know. I don't think we have one, like, from the school. I couldn't suggest to them that they get something like that.
Well, they could do, like, the band thing, maybe. Or, like, GroupMe is nice because, like, probably most of the kids have it. And then you can't see their phone numbers. Yeah. So then even the kids, because some of the kids might not want to give the other kids their phone numbers.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, these kids are older, so, like, I don't think they're gonna... I don't, like, distrust them, but it's kind of uncomfortable for me, personally.
The one teacher I work with, she uses Remind.
Oh, yeah. So I've heard of other people using that.
And the kids can respond, and you can set it up just from a text message, so it will go to you as a text. And then she'll do stuff like, she'll just send out, like, a reminder, because she's like, they don't really check their email. They might not look at their notifications from Google Classroom or whatever. Yeah. But, like, I'll send out a reminder, like, this project's due tomorrow. And then they'll text her, but she's like, don't send me stuff on Saturday night, guys. She's like, I don't care. I have a life. I don't want to hear from you on Saturday night.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's nice because they don't have my actual phone number.
Right.
They just text me in the app.
It's like, you know how, like, elementary school kids think their teachers, like, live at school?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like high schoolers think that, too. Like, they're, like, so shocked when you, like, have a life outside of school. And I'm like, no, you'd be surprised.
Well, it's also, like, I think they don't fathom, like, how much work goes into, like, a lesson or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just think, like, well, first of all, when they complain about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, with that one class, I like, kind of said something to them about it. I was like, look, guys, like, she worked really hard on these. We're working really hard on getting this stuff together for you. Like, we're trying our best. You can tell us in a nice way, like, after class, how we could make it more interesting for you and stuff. But, like, to just sit there and complain while we're doing it, I was like, it's disrespectful to us and all the hard work we put in to put it together. Like,
right.
We're trying our best. We want to take feedback, but we don't want you just complaining about it. Like,
yeah.
And then with the, like, throwing out of stuff, I'm like, you realize that I have to go ahead and take my time. So however much time you spent working on that, I then had to spend pretty much that times the 25 people in this class to grade it and to write out all the comments for you so you can see what happened. And I'm like, and it's not for nothing. Like, I'm not giving you busy work. I'm giving you stuff that you're going to see again. So, like, read the comments so that you'll know what to do next time.
Right.
That's why it ticked me off that on the test, this one girl, we did a model in class, and I was like, you are going to have to recreate this on the test.
Right.
And we went over it in class of, like, what it should look like, what the components were, like, what was expected in class. And I'm like, you can depict it however you want, but it needs to be showing, like, these factors in this process. And everyone who I wrote feedback on, every single one, hers was completely out of left field.
Yeah.
And she was there the entire time we did the activity. She was there when we went over it. She got the feedback. And I'm like, really?
Yes, because, well, oh gosh. I mean, it's hard. Like, that's what I hate to say it, but you probably will get very disillusioned because you're going to realize there's a lot of stuff you do and you feel like you're doing everything to give them every advantage and then they still don't do well and you're like, oh my gosh, what more do I need to do for you? But at the end of the day, like, they have to meet you halfway. And it's hard, but it's frustrating too, but it's also like, that's just how it is.
I mean, it's like two sides of the coin, right? Because I was talking about this with one of the girls I babysit for because I was grading them while I was babysitting. And she was like, well, you don't have to worry about it. You did everything you could do. You gave them the study guide. They didn't study. You gave them this. You did that. And I was like, I know. But, like, and then I told her about the advisor. I guess she's pretty famous in the physics world.
Mm-mm.
But she's the advisor for physics teachers at Rutgers. And she told them, your job is not to teach. Your job is to help students learn.
Right.
So if you look at it from that perspective, then it's not good enough to just be like, oh, they didn't study, so who cares? I did everything I could. You have to, like, find out what can I do differently to really get them to learn the information. Because
yeah,
if
but
they
at
were
the end
learning
of the
it,
day,
they would be able to produce it.
At the end of the day, like, not every single student is going to. You could have, like, a really engaging lesson, but it's still going to be school. You know, some kids are still not going to be interested.
It involves more, like, differentiation and then more engagement and, like, relevance to their lives. Like, you
right,
have to,
which is, you try to do, but I mean, that's hard and it takes a lot of time. Like, if you're not going to develop that your first year of teaching, it's just realistically not going to happen.
Like, 25 years and then I'll be done.
7 years, right? Like I told you.
I feel like it will take more than 7 because, like, it takes a lot. Like, I'm using a lot of stuff that's already been produced.
Right.
Like, it takes a lot of work to, like, produce from nothing. Like,
yeah,
those materials.
I know. It takes forever. Like, hours to make one activity. Yeah. And then the kids will be like, you never taught us this. And I'm like, remember this beautiful activity that we did that guided you through every single step and had analysis and had real world data? I made that. That didn't just come out of nowhere. That's how I taught you, by crafting this beautiful assignment for you to complete. But, you know.
Do you talk to them about that in the beginning?
What?
Like, how?
About, like, that's not direct instruction?
Yeah, and, like, how you give them the materials. Or
right.
The, like,
I tell them, I say, I'm here as a resource for you. I was like, so I'm going to give you all the tools you need to learn the information. But it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to tell you right away. If you're struggling with something, you have questions, you can come to me. I'm an expert and I'm a resource, but you have to utilize me the right way. So if you just don't ever say anything, I'm going to assume you know what we're doing, you know? And obviously, like, I'll look at their tests and do feedback and stuff, but I'm like, you got to
Yeah.
You have to come to me. I'm not just going to come and tell you every single thing, because some people can read something and know it, and then there's no point in me telling you it.
Right.
But if you need more clarification, you have to ask me. But I try to get them to ask me actual questions, and that's really hard too. To ask a question.
Do you do a lot of KWLs, which is like a know what you know, what you want to know, and what you want.
Yeah, we do them occasionally. I wouldn't say a lot.
I don't really get the point of the learned column.
What do you mean? It's what they actually, the correct information.
Okay, so they fill...
So they do it before they start a topic. Then what they know, what they want to learn. And then what they actually learned is what they put at the end after they go through whatever the activity is. That's probably the most important one.
I see. Well, I had it on, like, this activity I did, and then it was just, like, the pineapple enzymes, and it was more like... I basically said to them, like, everyone has to write 3 things, and then you're going to share them with a partner, and then every partner group has to share one thing. So they wrote stuff down, like what they know and what they would need to know. But then, like, the activity just went on, and then they, like, went into the model section. So I guess at the end they could have gone back and filled out what they learned. Right. I don't know. To me, it just seems like if you're finishing the activity, but I guess you then should think, oh, that's what I learned.
Right. Like, oh, it was exactly this. I don't know. And sometimes I have my kids, like, we do one of the, the science and engineering practices. One is, like, asking good questions.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll be like, we'll be starting a topic, and I'll be like, okay, write down, like, 3 questions you want to know about this. And then I'll say, and then, like, underneath, write why you want to know that question. And they, like, they don't even understand what I'm saying when I ask that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the question I'm asking you is, why did you ask this question? Like, what makes this question, how would finding out the answer to this question help you solve the problem better? Because I'm like, if you can't realize why you need to know this information, then how are you deciding which questions to ask in the first place?
Yeah.
You're just, like, asking totally random stuff. Like, there must have been a reason you decided, oh, I need to know this. And then, what I would want them to be is like, oh, well, because if the answer was this, it would inform me on this.
Right.
But if the answer is X, Y, and Z, then it's going to tell me something different. And I'm like, right. But their ability
then maybe you could say, what would the answer of this question be able to tell me? Or
yeah, it's very tricky. I mean, I try to scaffold it in different ways, but it's a skill that's very challenging for them. Asking questions in general is really hard.
Yeah.
So that's something we practice a lot, but I know they get annoyed with me because I'm always asking, like, well, why do we want to ask this question? They're like, oh my god, can we just get the answer? And I'm like, that's not the point. Like, we're trying to practice asking good questions, not just, like, find out the answer to the question. But it's challenging. That's how science is, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's cool. Like, some of my kids, they seem to get into it. Some of them aren't. Like, the one girl was like, can I work with her because he's not talking to me? And I'm like, but are you talking to him? Mm-hmm. Like, I can understand if you both aren't talking to each other, because I basically told them, like, go through your evidence together, talk about what you have for your questions, write down on your own papers, but, like, discuss your answers, discuss how it relates to your model. And then it's just, like, silence in the room. And they're, like, not all in the first, they're not just all reading. And I also said to them, you could read it aloud, right, because that might help you to, like, understand it if you, like, take turns reading aloud with your partner.
And that's how I told you whenever they're doing that. I'm like, I go to them, like, oh, you know how to communicate telepathically?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, then you have to talk. Like, there's no way you're discussing this without speaking to each other. And then they'll be like, oh, and then they, like, sort of talk. But yeah, that will get better. That will probably get better throughout the year as they do it more.
Yeah. I was like, I guess maybe, like, having more prompts, and then my advisor gave me something about, like, I forget what it was
like
called.
Sentence starters or something?
Yeah, like intentional discussion or some kind of thing like that, like, where you literally have a discussion about discussions, and then...
I know, it's like I have to have discussions about how to have a good discussion, how to ask good questions, how to leave valuable feedback. That's one that, like, I always have to leave. I even have, like, a form
with each other.
I have a form that's like, instead of saying cool pictures, say, I like how your drawing explained this more thoroughly. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, this is so silly that I have to write this out. It's like, instead of saying nice job, say, the detail you provided here really helped me understand this. Instead of writing confusing, say specifically what you didn't understand. Like, it's so annoying. But, and I try to tell them, I'm like, guys, the feedback, like, it is a waste of time if we just walk around and are like, nice, this looks good. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, nobody, like, cool, that's great. But, like, at the end of the day, we're trying to help each other be better. And if we're all just like, that's great, when, like, it's terrible, then that's not helping anybody. But, they do get better. Those things, I will say, they do get better throughout the year. It's just, like, a matter of setting the culture.
Yeah.
For sure. But Some of them will never talk. And it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, they seem pretty good, like, because then sometimes I will call them. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to call on people now. Like, if, I'll be like, let's get some fresh hands up here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the weight, I haven't really done the weight a lot.
Oh, it's so hard. My
'Cause it
co-teacher
feels
has
so
such a hard
awkward.
time with it. I know, it is awkward. Because
Especially
I'll ask
there
a
are,
question
like,
and I'll
5
just,
kids.
like, stand there silently. And then my co-teacher will, like, jump in with, like, a follow-up. And I'm like, we gotta exercise our weight time.
But is no one raising their hand?
Yeah, sometimes no one.
Okay.
But sometimes it'll be, like, the same kid always.
Because for me, it's like, there's like 5 that pretty much will always do it. So there's like 2 that are like every time. And there's 3 that are like most of the time. So it would be like me sitting there silently while 5 people are raising their hands and I'm just like ignoring them. And then since they're raising their hands, probably no one else would raise their hand. You know what I
Because
mean?
they're like, oh, someone's already raising
So
their
then I
hand.
have to just be like, okay, let's hear from someone else or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
tricky.
why I sometimes like to do the like, write it first, then we're all going to share it. Because then I'm like, I know you guys wrote something, so I'm going to call on you because you already have something.
Yeah, just read. And I always say to them, read what you wrote. Because then they'll just start saying something. And I'm like, you wrote something down. Read what you wrote. Like, that's what I want to hear. Because sometimes what you say isn't anything like what you wrote.
Or sometimes I'll do like, write 2, or I'll be like, write 3 things, share with your partner, and then come up and write 1 thing on the board.
Yeah, I'll do write on the board a lot too.
On the board, and then they won't know
necessarily who's.
That's why I got all those Post-its.
Oh, we just write on the boards.
Same. I haven't used the Post-its.
And do you have lab tables? You can write like with chalkboard on your lab tables? It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, so we kind of just like have been talking about school for a long time now. So do we want to maybe take a little commercial break?
Sure.
Okay.
This week's podcast is brought to you by the Beefy Boys. Just 3 cool dudes hanging out, talking about sports, video games, music, and whatever else they feel like. Find them at their website, www.beefyboys.com. Also, where you find your other podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, you know, all the regulars. The Beefy Boys, the best show on planet Earth.
Okay, we're back. So our second topic for the night was animals. So that's what we're going to talk about. Reggie's about to jump on the back of your chair, but he's not able to do it. Oh, he gave up. He gets his claws clipped on a pretty regular basis. So when they're freshly clipped, he has a really hard time jumping onto chairs. And it's really cute, but also ridiculous looking. I'm not sure where he's going now. Going to get in trouble is where he's going.
Your water bottle.
You want to get the squirt?
You mean the squirts?
Yeah, he's bad and gets the squirts from this dollar store water bottle. All right, anyway. So we have some things on the outline about animals. The first is, what is your favorite animal?
Okay, guess mine.
Giraffe. Ooh. You changed it? Is it unicorn?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a yes?
Mm-hmm.
So Jess is alluding to a story when our cousin was little, Lorelai. She was like maybe 4 or 5, and she asked me, like, it was like Jess's birthday was coming up, and she's like, "What's Jess's favorite animal?" And I was like, "A giraffe." And she's like, "Oh, well, what's her second favorite?" And I was like, I don't know, like a cheetah." And she was like, "Oh, does she even like unicorns?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were talking about made-up animals, but sure." So apparently a unicorn is Jess's favorite animal, but is it really? Because that basically just makes you like a horse girl.
I'm a horse girl.
You're just a horny horse girl?
Okay. Why do I have to be a horny?
No, you're into horny horses. That's what unicorns are. Unicorns are horses with horns on their heads, so they're horny horses. So, was that
now
a yes?
I feel like we really messed up the name of our trivia team. We should have just been the horny horses and had unicorns.
Instead of being the horny unicorns?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then one time we were exiled, so we decided to play as the horny rhinos, and just like, "Oh, that didn't even make sense. At least unicorns have horns." And I was like, so do rhinos. And also they're real animals. So anyway, she was like, "You should just be the horny rabbits." And I was like, "What?"
No, it was the randy rabbits.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Thank you, Brian.
So your favorite animal is unicorn?
No, my real favorite animal is a giraffe.
I feel like that you're the only person whose favorite animal is a giraffe. If
Yeah,
you're
they're
listening
cool.
and your favorite animal is a giraffe, please let us know. Did you watch the giraffe give birth?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, so you hate giraffes? As you open your Jell-O to soothe your throat. Everyone knows my
Why?
favorite animal.
Gibbon.
The gibbon. So the gibbon is a really awesome animal. If you guys aren't familiar with it, you should totally look it up. Every time I tell my high school students that a gibbon's my favorite animal, they're like, oh, what's a gibbon? And I'm like, you're really uneducated. But anyway, a gibbon is the only member of the family of lesser apes. Lesser apes are still great. They're awesome. They have super long arms, and they swing around a bunch in trees, and they look really sad all the time. They kind of like sit in like a squatting position with their knees up, and then they like hug their legs, and they look super depressed, but they're also really cute. So gibbons are great. You guys should look them up. Support the gibbons. Gibbons for life. My second favorite animal, do you know, Jess?
Giraffe.
No. Like those freaks.
Horse.
No. Oh, I thought you knew me. My second
Snake.
favorite animal is a bear. I love bears. They're so cute. All kinds. I don't really discriminate. Nope, I don't discriminate. I'm an all...
Polar.
I'm a non-polar bear lover. I love all kinds of bears all the time. Yeah, they're so cute. Especially baby bears. They're so goofy looking, and I like when they like lay on their back. Baby pandas, they're cute. What, you mean like really little baby pandas?
Yeah, they look like hairless lima beans.
As opposed to hairy lima beans? I don't know what kind of lima beans you eat, but they just look like lima beans.
Well, yeah, you would just...
Oh, God, you're so gross. Why is everything about you disgusting? You're such a giraffe. Anyway, when you see like a baby bear and they like lay on their back and they grab onto their little feet and they roll around like a little human baby, it's so cute. So yes, I love bears. They're cool.
You know what's weird about bears?
What?
They're a lot like people, only more so.
Yeah, that is weird.
They're kind of furry around the torso.
The Berenstain Bears, or Berenstain, what is it? Berenstain Bears?
I don't know. The Berenstain Bears.
So yeah, they have a show, and the jingle goes like that. It's like, they're kind of furry around the torso. They're not like people, only more so. And I'm like, but are bears more like people than people? I never knew that. That's really quite surprising. So
maybe it's just the Berenstain Bears.
Like, they're more like people than regular bears? So they're elitist? I mean, if they were like people, they'd probably wear pants. Like, I'm just saying. And they probably would have names for themselves besides sister and brother.
Papa Bear wears pants.
Does he?
He wears overalls.
But I don't think brother and sister... Oh, I guess they do wear pants. I guess I'm just thinking of Winnie the Pooh. He doesn't wear pants. Yeah, he is honestly my favorite bear.
Everyone else in the show has a name. Except...
Yeah, like Lizzie Bruin. And then it's like, just sister.
Brother bear.
And it's not like only sister bear calls brother bear. Like, random friends at school are like, come on, brother. And I'm like, that's just your name? It's like how in BoJack, Mr. Peanut Butter's name is Mr. And the whole time you always just thought everyone was calling him Mr. Peanut Butter because that's like his last name. So they were just saying like, Miss Rafe is Mr. Peanut Butter. But then you go and meet his brother whose first name is Captain. So he's Captain Peanut Butter. And then Mr's first name is just Mr.
And then his kids are like, Uncle Mr.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. Like, but also, why does everyone call him by his first and last name? Like, his wife just calls him that. Like, that'd be if I was like, hey, Tim Mahoney every time I talked about Tim. That'd be so weird.
You do that.
Not really. Tim Mahoney? Yes, that one. Oh man, my leg hurts. So, anyway, the next question on the... Well, are there any other honorable mentions? I thought you loved raccoons.
Yeah, I mean...
No, you love squirrels, honestly.
Squirrels are my favorite rodent.
And your least favorite's rabbits, which makes you a freak. I mean, rabbits are better than squirrels.
What?
Yeah, I think most people would agree. Rabbits are better than squirrels.
Why would you even say that?
Because it's true.
Maybe they're better than the gerbils.
They're definitely better than gerbils, and they're also better than squirrels.
Have to burp again.
Are ferrets rodents?
Yeah.
No, they're my favorite rodents then.
Maybe they're weasels, I don't know.
Are weasels rodents?
I don't know.
I feel like they probably are. God, I thought you were a biologist. It's like you know literally nothing.
I thought that your favorite rodent was a muskrat.
No, I'm not even into muskrats.
Are you into like hawks or turkey vultures?
I like both. Actually, I don't really like either. I'm not really into birds of prey. I'm not really into raptors. I'm more into, like, chickens.
Don't put your hand over your mouth. I can't hear you.
What are you talking about? All right.
Wait. But I thought you were into owls. You used to love owls.
What do you mean? I never loved owls.
When you were a kid, you were, like, obsessed with owls.
No, I wasn't. What are you talking about? What kind of evidence do you have to support this false claim?
Like, owls!
I would not do that. I was not obsessed with owls.
Yeah, you were. You were obsessed with Stella Luna.
Stella Luna's a bat.
But doesn't she like, join a family of owls?
No. If she joins a family of sparrows, they get attacked by an owl. So I loved Stella Luna, and therefore I loved the thing that tried to kill her.
Maybe that's why you always...
What? Swallow your Jell-O before you speak. Actually, the book Stella Luna, there is one page.
Maybe that's why you were always yelling about them. You were like, owls, owls.
I was not ever yelling about owls. There's a picture in Stella Luna. It's like when she first is trying bugs that the mama bird brings back, and the whole picture is just the bat, and she's sticking her tongue out like to get the bug, and it's so cute. It's like one of my favorite pictures. I'm picturing it right now in my mind. Probably not my favorite, but it's a good one.
Favorite kids book?
No, I think Is Your Mama a Llama is one of my favorite kids' book.
What about Peanut Butter Rhino?
Peanut Butter Rhino does top the list. The Gruffalo is great too, and I love the Shel Silversteins. You know, anything by him pretty much. But the books of poems are good. Okay, so next up is if you could be an animal, what would you be? So the other night, Tim called me a tardigrade. And I was like, oh, Tim also texted me that bears use toilet paper, Charmin. Those commercials are so weird.
Tim Mahoney.
Yeah. But you know, those commercials, when they're like, you have some toilet paper in your butt. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, you guys don't wear clothes. Like, your buttholes are just out, but you use toilet paper. It seems really unnecessary. I don't know. Anyway, so the other night, Tim called me a tardigrade.
What is that?
It's a water bear. They're like those little tiny animals that survive like anything. And I was like, oh, that's so weird that you would have called me that because I took a BuzzFeed quiz the other day and it says, everyone is an ugly animal deep down. Take this quiz to find out which one you are. And I got the tardigrade. And I was like, that's really weird that you would call me that of all things. I was like, did I show you this result? And he's like, why would you take that quiz? And I'm like, I wanted to know what ugly animal I was deep down. So this is what it says. You got tardigrade. You're the tardigrade. You're a bit quiet, so sometimes people don't notice that you're there. But that's their loss. You're weird, wonderful, and full of great ideas. Your best characteristic is your resiliency. There isn't a single situation you can't bounce back from. And then this is the tardigrade. See? They're like microscopic.
Wait, pull it down more?
It doesn't go down.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's like a freaky little water
how
bear.
did Tim know about them?
Oh, well, we know
Why
about
are they called water bears? Are they invertebrates?
That's their nicknames. I don't know. Probably. They're like super small. So, I've learned about them before in like nature shows, or like 10 toughest animals or something. But there's also like an episode or like a series of episodes in South Park where they like use them in this like science experiment.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
that's what you would be, a tardigrade?
Well, according to BuzzFeed, that's what I am already, deep down.
And a snake.
I'm not a snake. I'm a horse. Not a horny horse, just a plain old regular horse.
I'm a horny horse lover.
We know. Now I'm getting weird looks from the husband. He's like, you're definitely a horny horse. I'm like...
He's like, you're definitely a horny tardigrade lover.
So what animal would you be if you could?
I want you to answer first.
Okay. I'd probably be like a dolphin. Well, can I be a human?
No.
Oh, I didn't specify that. This is
what
animal would you
be?
be?
You have like your own consciousness.
No, I mean like, could I just be a human? Because that's probably what I would pick. But if I had to be a different animal, I would probably be a dolphin because they like swim around. It's like looks fun. They just like jump through the waves. Pretty cool. They live, relatively long lives. It's not like you're gonna die like in 2 minutes. They don't have too many predators.
But then you have to live in the ocean all the time.
Yeah, but it's probably fun. I love the ocean. And you get like a cool family, Dolphins like have names for each other.
But you don't like to have sex with all your friends and family.
You don't know that about me. Remember how we talked about how there's things that you don't know? And if I was a dolphin, I might like that. What would you be?
Probably a house cat.
A house cat?
Dog, a lap dog.
Chris Keller told me he would be a house cat. And I was like, really? He's like, then I could just sleep all day. I'm like, that sounds so boring.
It's probably honestly the safest.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, house cats live a pretty long time. And I mean, but you'd have to be in the right kind of house. Like, what if you were like an abused house cat? Do you get to pick where you live?
No, that's true.
Yeah, but you'd probably have a pretty good life. If you were friendly and stuff, people would probably be nice to you. Even if you, like, were in an abused house, you could just run away.
I would do that thing where I'd be like, meow, and, like, rub up, and then I would, like, turn around and, like, rub my butthole on people's faces.
Like, Reggie will, like, meow, and then he'll, like, just, like, roll on his back and, like, splay his legs out. And I'm like, what is this? You're just, like, showing me your belly and, like, the place that used to be your testicles. It's like, I don't really need to see this. It's very peculiar. I mean, he still technically has, like, his little testicles. They're just, you know, tied off or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, they, like, it's all internal, his surgery, so they don't actually, like, take him out.
Oh.
Yeah, they're very tiny, though. And his floof covers them well. But he got shaved for the surgery.
Oh.
So that was weird looking. I've never seen him manscaped before. So...
He's like, look what I did.
He's like, meow. And lays down with his legs out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the other room now. He's a freak. He also likes to lick inside my nose.
Gross.
I know, it's very bizarre. And he likes to try to sit on the toilet with me while I'm, like, using the toilet. He'll, like, come behind me and try to stand on the toilet seat. And I'm like, this really isn't working for me. Like, I'm trying to use the toilet and you're, like, standing right behind me. But he's very intrigued in the toilet. Like, he really wants to see what happens when you flush. But we always put the lid down. So every time we flush, he, like, runs up and he, like, kind of puts his paws up and tries to get his head in there. But then the lid comes down. It's a soft close, so it doesn't, like, squish him or anything.
Hold him while you flush it.
Because I'm not, like, pulling up my pants usually or something. And I don't want him to fall in there, so it would just be a nightmare.
All right.
But he is kind of a water cat. He comes in the shower with us all the time. Yeah, that's weird. Right now he's sleeping, looks so cute. So dog or cat?
Probably.
Which one?
Oh. Maybe dog. I feel like, well...
I feel like more people like dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What kind of dog, though?
Then you have to eat kibble. I'd rather
Cats
just
eat
eat
kibble?
raw meat.
A lot of people feed their dogs wet food.
I want to eat raw processed meat. I want to eat raw, fresh meat live from the animal I just killed.
Then you should be a cat.
Like a wild cat.
Like a feral cat, yeah. You can eat
A
mice.
feral cat. Like a jungle cat.
Oh, like a lion?
No, something sexier like a panther.
You have to be sexy.
Obviously.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Should be a dolphin then. All right, so
dolphins are gross.
what?
I don't like dolphins that much.
Why? Just because they're rapists?
Yeah.
Well, they're just animals. It's in their nature.
And they're so... Liking dolphins is so basic.
Mom loves dolphins. You have to speak. You can't just make facial expressions. I can't see you. Okay, so the next question is, make your best animal noise.
Meow.
So, pig? That's your best animal noise, a cat?
It roused Reggie.
Yeah, he's probably like, who's that? Who dat? Who dat? Actually, he's just kind of like looking... Oh, he fell asleep. Let me try my cat noise.
Ooh, that was good.
But honestly, he kind of just makes this noise. That's like his chirp. Whoa, your like fur is all messed up, dude. Yeah, go back to sleep.
He's laying on it.
But that's your best one. Let's hear your dolphin.
I would not be able to do that right now.
Let's hear your donkey.
Yeah.
Have you actually heard a donkey though? Because they do
It's
the
more
he
like
it's like it's like really drawn
It's like
out. It's like a creaky gate. It's like I'm like, what is that? It's so terrible. How about a dog?
Ruff.
That's terrible.
Ruff, ruff.
How about a chicken?
chicken? Peacock, peacock.
No. That sounds like a pretty good chicken.
Just don't say big cock at the end. Like, that's it.
Cock bar.
Tell them about that.
Okay, so we were at our Girl Scout meeting. That's a weird way to start that story. And our mom was talking to the girls about this camping trip we're going to go on. And she was saying that there's a hot cocoa bar, but she said there's a hot cocoa bar. And then later I said to Jess, what time's the hot cock bar open? And we were just cracking up. And then they were like, what? And we're like, nothing. I'll tell you later. But I don't think we ever told her, so now she can hear.
No, I think we did tell her.
Well, we told Eileen. I don't know if we told Mom.
True.
Okay. My best animal noise is probably...
Do dog. Bark like a dog.
Wait, I'm trying to... That's my dog sound. Or you can do the little one.
Why do you have to be like can't you just be a happy dog?
They don't bark.
Yeah, they do.
Ruff! 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 That's a happy dog.
That's pretty good. Okay. Chicken. Oh, you did chicken.
Yeah.
Giraffe.
I don't know what giraffes sound like.
Horse.
I read a joke.
Is that your neigh after?
No, yeah. I read this joke on Facebook, and it was like, I said to the horse, did you... I said to the horse, did you steal my thesaurus? And the horse said, nope. And at first I was like, I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, because it's like, instead of neigh, he says nope. So that was a good one. It was a thinker, but it was pretty funny. So that was a classic.
Good one.
Yeah,
so what's your best animal noise?
I don't know. It's probably my
Dolphin.
my chicken, probably.
Do the dolphin.
I can't.
That time you choked on the big cock.
Chickens have little throats. Okay.
That was pretty good.
It's like really hard to do dolphins. And they just sort of click too. They do like those clicks like the girl from The Grudge or something. Although I never saw that movie, but it looked really scary. And I never wanted to shampoo my hair after that. Because you know on the preview she's like washing her hair and it's like in her head.
Ugh, no.
So then like anytime I would shampoo my hair, I'm like, is there a demon coming out of the back of my head?
Oh my god.
There hasn't been yet, but you never know. Okay, so next up is what's popping at the movies. Popping at the movies. Popping at the movies.
Pass some popcorn.
So we did not go to the movies this week, but I did go to Broadway.
Take me to Broadway.
Okay, so I saw Hamilton.
Wow.
It was really good. Jess was going to come, but she was sick, so she gave her ticket away. And then I was like, if that girl wasn't here, we could have spread out in our seats. I was just kidding, though, because it was, like, very crowded. And then I was like, it probably wouldn't really be worth, like, $250 just to spread out. And I was like, you're right, it probably wouldn't. But, yeah, the seats are quite small, so, you know.
That's why I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be crammed, coughing, surrounded by 1,000 tissues.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense, but it was very good. It was, like, really awesome. People always say it's an amazing show, and we went with my uncle who was like, it's the best show I've ever seen. I mean, it was really good, and I liked it a lot, but I feel like I don't really think I've seen enough musicals to really, like, make a statement like that. That is the best one I've ever seen.
Has your uncle seen?
I don't know.
2?
So then I'm like, as we're walking there, I see on the marquee, based on the music of Alanis Morissette, there's a musical, Jagged Little Pill. And I was like, oh my god, does Bill know about this? Like, he loves Jagged Little Pill. He loves that album. And then I told him, I was like, oh, did you see? He's like, are you going to see Jagged Little Pill? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I keep seeing it, like, all over my Facebook. Like, I get ads for it all the time. I was like, oh, because I never heard of it. And he's like, yeah, I guess I just always get it on Facebook. I'm like, he's like, I don't know why. And I'm like, because you love that album. Like, obviously Facebook knows you, like, and knows who it should target. But he said that he saw some clips and he's like, didn't seem thrilled by it. So he wasn't sure if he was going to go. There's no way I would be able to go to that and not sing along.
Yeah.
Which, like, is annoying because I don't think they really like when you do that at Broadway musicals.
You could sing quietly.
Me? Sing quietly? Do you even know me?
You would be able to not sing along.
I have to sing loudly!
Did you ever see that Disney show? Sing it loud.
No. That was
It's
a
like
show?
Liv and Maddie and like
Oh.
the Liv characters on the
Yeah,
show.
you told me about Fro-Yo YOLO. This is the stupidest
I
I've
really
ever...
love Fro-Yo. Blah, blah.
It's so YOLO.
It's so YOLO.
Which doesn't even make sense.
You only live once.
That's why you should eat ice cream and not frozen yogurt.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I'm singing Jagged Little Pill quietly. Is that even possible?
Hey, yeah.
Like, as we walked past that, I was like, if I jump in this fountain, will I be forgiven? And everyone's like, you're weird. Crazy Christians on the street singing about baptisms. Yeah, that's a great album. But yeah, so anyway, the show was really good. It was like very entertaining. It kept your attention the whole time. I'd never seen it, so I asked someone, I was like, oh, so is it like, do they talk or is it just singing? And she's like, no, they talk, but they really don't. It's just singing the whole time. Which, like, some musicals are like that. I usually don't like those ones as much, but this one was really good. And obviously, like, they're rapping it sort of.
Yeah.
And stuff, so it's like, you know, you get more out of it than just, like, a few musical numbers.
What was your favorite song?
That's a toughie. Tim liked when the king sings. He's, like, kind of funny. Basically, he's, like, acting like a jilted lover. Like, you'll come back and you'll see, blah, blah, blah. His were funny. They were good. I honestly like the girls. So there's this one part that's, like, really cool. So Alexander Hamilton, like, marries this girl, Eliza Schuyler, and there's, like, 3 sisters. So basically they're, like, talking about how they, like, got together. And then after they, like, get married, the older sisters, like, rewind and, like, they all, like, move backwards, like, as if they're going through the thing backwards, and they set back to the beginning. And then she sings about how, like, she really, like, loved him at first too, but her sister had said, like, oh, I'm attracted to him, or I love him. And so she's like, I will always choose my sister's happiness over mine. So she, like, basically the younger sister was like, please don't take him, like, you know, I'm really interested in him. And so she, like, was like, oh, and she brought him right over and stuff. But then she's singing about how, like, she loved him and she, like, gave him to Eliza to be happy because even though she loved him, like, as the oldest daughter, she shouldn't marry someone of, like, a very low social class because he doesn't come from anything. You know, he's, like, an immigrant and he has nothing. He's a very low station. So she's like, I have to, like, choose something better anyway. But she's like, I know he'll never be satisfied and, like, all this stuff. And it was, like, really sad. And I was like, oh.
What was it called?
I don't know what the name is. No, but it was because I don't even know what any of the songs are really called because they reprise like a lot of the songs. So, like, throughout the musical, like, they're singing the same songs a lot, just like with some, like, in a different way.
The girl I babysit for, they did some of them. They had, like, they were learning some of them on the piano, and they learned the song "Burn."
That's, like, after after his wife finds out that he had an affair, she sings that one. Because she's basically saying, like, I'm going to take myself out of the narrative. I'm going to burn all the letters I wrote to you so that people will have to... She's like, so historians will have to wonder how I reacted. Like, I'm not going to, like, absolve you of your sins in a way that people will know about. But then later, after he dies, she, like, changes her mind. And she's like, I'm putting myself back in. I'm going to tell your story. So, it's interesting. Because he was pretty young when he died. And it's also interesting, too, because, like, obviously... So, the cast that we saw, obviously, it's not the original cast. And they had a lot of, like, black actors. And I was like, that's really cool because I was like, so, like, obviously they had, like, the 3 sisters and, like, 2 of them were white and then the one girl was black who played Eliza. And I'm like, yeah, it's, like, really cool because, like, it's not even, like, and Alexander Hamilton was played by, like, a black guy too. So it's, like, you don't even, like, think of the race, you know what I mean? It's not like you would, like, look at them and be like, oh my God, that can't be George Washington because he's not, like, an old white guy. So I'm like, it really doesn't matter. And I feel like that's really cool because you could see that in the future for, like, other types of casting as well.
True.
I don't know, because I feel like, you know, you think, like, oh, yeah, if you're going to cast someone to play George Washington, like, it's going to be, like, a white guy. But if you don't, like, it really didn't take anything away from the character. Yeah. You know, like, it was totally fine. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that they did that.
Especially in, like, live theater.
Yeah. Live theater, I think it does that more. Yeah. Anyway, because they'll also do, like, cross-gender and stuff. Yeah. But it was, I don't know, it's just cool. I never really thought of it before. Can't really think of, like, another show I've seen where they've done that. So, Because, a lot of shows you see are just fictional characters, so it doesn't matter what their race is. If you're the audience member, you might not know if they were supposed to be written as something else. But obviously, if it's, like, a historical figure.
Like a show?
Yeah. Like in a show or, like, a theater, a musical theater.
Yeah, but some of it is, like, I guess it matters. Like, I just started watching the show on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And it's called Sorry for Your Loss.
Right.
Have you heard about it?
I think you told me about it, maybe?
I just started watching it today, but it's about this girl whose husband dies.
Oh, no, I saw it on Facebook ads.
Her husband dies, and she goes to, like, a support group. And she's just it starts, like, 4 months after her husband dies. And she's just trying to, like, get through it, get her life back together and stuff. And she's white and her husband was black. And then he had depression. And at one point, he says, like, I'm always thinking about how people look at us when they see us together. So, like, the point, I guess, is at least in this country, like, it does kind of matter. It does matter still.
Well, yeah,
like,
obviously,
people notice
like, if for the story there's going to be, like, tensions about race or whatever, like, obviously that's important. But what I'm saying is, like, if that's not, like, part of the story.
But it would always be, I guess, is my point.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think it's almost easier to do it if it's, like, this is George Washington. And then, like, it doesn't matter because, like, everyone knows who that person was anyway, so you can't be played by anybody.
So it would be realistic that he could, like you're saying, if it was just a made-up character and it was, like, a black guy, they wouldn't necessarily, like, be treated the same way as, like, a white person.
Yeah.
So, like, it wouldn't be as, like, realistic.
It's not even, like, realistic. It's just that you can, I guess, like, not pay attention to the race as much because you don't read into it.
Right.
But if you don't know who the character is, you would read into it. Because in that case, you would just be like, oh, a black person's playing George Washington. But if it was, like, you've never seen it before, it was original, you would just think, like, oh, that was meant to be that way, and then there's something I'm supposed to read into it for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe. I feel like it depends. I think it would depend on the subject matter of the show. Yeah, like, because if it's, like, a lighthearted comedy or something, that probably wouldn't necessarily matter as much. But I can see what you're saying. It makes sense. Interesting. True. Yeah. Oh, well. That was cool, though.
We're still going to see Cats, so...
You're going to see Cats.
That's coming out in a couple of months. And Tim was just singing Jellicoe Cats.
Yeah, well, actually, he was singing... He goes, what's that song? Because it's like, okay, so my tablet makes this, like, noise when there's, like, an email. I think Finn keeps turning the noise on, so it's like, do-do-do-do-do, or, like, something weird. And Tim's like, what was that? I was like, that's just the tablet. And he's like, no, that's, like, that gel song, the gels. And I'm like... What? And he's like, the gel song. And I was like, do you mean Jellicoe Cats? Like from BoJack? Because in BoJack Horseman, this character, Princess Carolyn, who's a cat, her ringtone is Jellicoe Cats. So he was actually singing...
Yeah, is it Jellicoe or Jellicle?
Well, he was singing Jellicle.
I think it is Jellicle.
But who knows? Yeah, so then he was walking to the bathroom and he was singing Jellicle Cats, and I was like, were you just singing Jellicle Cats? And he's like, yeah, and then Jess got really excited, and I was like, he's just referencing BoJack, he's not referencing Cats. Okay, so, like, calm down.
No, he's excited to see it.
He's definitely not, and he's not gonna see it. Look at Reggie, he looks so cute when he lays like that, right, with his paws straight out.
So cute.
Guys, if you haven't been following Sir Reggie, he has his own Instagram account. It's Sir Reginald Floofbottom _ 3 I's, because for some reason Instagram doesn't let you capitalize, so it's just 3 lowercase i's, but it stands for the third. Oh, and I wrote a little song about him. I actually wrote 2 songs. The one is a parody of the Kimmy Schmidt theme song, and it goes, Sir Reginald, he's a floof bottom, the third in his line. Sir Reginald, he's a floof bottom, Sir Reg has a floofy butt. And then the other one is for when we're playing together, and when we're getting ready, I go, Reggie, 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 are you ready? And then we play with his little toy and we say, watch this feather as it flies. To jump, to catch it, you must jump high. If you miss, I'll say good try. Reggie, 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 are you ready? Ready, ready, ready. And then when I'm saying, are you ready, I flick the feather in his face. And then when he seems ready, we say, here we go. And then he jumps for it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in my spare time. I'm just a crazy cat lady now. Yeah. Oh, so you're pretty good at making woodpecker sounds, at least Woody the. You sound like an owl.
Oh, what was that? What's the barn? Okay, what was the saying?
Who cooks for you? Who cooks for... Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I always thought they were called barn owls, but it's apparently barred owls.
Yeah, like Shakespeare.
Yeah, because Shakespeare was always like, hoo, 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 ah.
Oh, I can do a good penguin noise.
Okay.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yeah, perfect impression of Mumble from Happy Feet.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, so should we plug the soch?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh.
You can visit us on our website at dearfootsisters.com or on Facebook at Dear Feet Podcast. Well, facebook.com/Dear Feet Podcast. Instagram, Twit, and YouTube are Dearfoot Sisters. If you want to leave us a comment with some topics, we're happy to have a listener-inspired episode. And you can send well wishes to Jess. Maybe send her some tea or something like that. Please stop her wheeze with some teas.
Hashtag stop the wheeze. Hashtag lesser apes are great.
Yeah.
Lesser apes are still great.
Lesser apes are great too. All right, so that's it for this week. We're the Dearfoot Sisters.
And we're prancing away.